If you just received your Omnipod 5 and need help with the insertion process, this video is made for you. Today I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step process for inserting your first pod. No, don't drink my insulin. Thank you. And I'm going to be doing it in my bed with my 2-year-old. Yes, it is that easy that you can do it with a baby or toddler nearby. Just be careful of the sharps. The Omnipod 5 is the only tubeless pump on the market right now. It's one of the best-selling pumps, and it uses the automated mode called Smart Adjust. What Smart Adjust does is communicate with your Dexcom or CGM sensor. It takes your blood sugar into consideration and adjusts your basal rates according to what it sees trending. Before you set up your first pod, you're going to need to make sure you have your settings correct in your pump. You're going to receive those settings from your healthcare provider. Please do not assume that you can use the same settings you used on a different pump on the Omnipod 5. It will not work the same, especially with the Smart Adjust technology. Every pump is different. You are also going to need your basal programs, insulin to carb ratios, correction factors, target glucose, and duration of insulin action. You also need to know that you cannot use your CGM receiver with the Omnipod 5 system. You're going to need to use the app, like the Dexcom app on an iPhone or whatever smartphone you use. And also, iPhones do not hook up to the Omnipod 5 for using the Smart Adjust system. You're going to need to either use an Android phone or a Google phone. So I have an iPhone, and I actually have to use my PDM and my iPhone to operate my Omnipod 5 to its full potential. All right, so while I'm calming Alice down, let's make sure we have all of our supplies in order. You are going to need the Omnipod 5 pod that you are inserting, and that comes with the syringe in there. Room temperature insulin. I use room temperature insulin because you are going to get less air bubbles with it at room temperature. You're going to need a charged PDM. PDM stands for Personal Diabetes Manager. And an alcohol swab. Set up new pod. All right, so this is going to walk you through step-by-step instructions, but I'm just making this video as a reference. A lot of people like to see what's going on. So you need at least 85 units of insulin in the pod for it to work. That is less than other pumps I've used, which is great because I use a small amount of insulin compared to other people. And the minimum line is on this needle, and I believe it's 85. So we're gonna wanna put a little bit more air in it than 85 units, go past that notch on the needle, just so we can get the air bubbles out correctly. All right, so I'm going to draw the insulin up past that notch that I want it to be at the end, flick all the bubbles to the top, go ahead and inject the air bubbles and the insulin I do not need back into the vial. All right, so we're looking pretty good. I don't see any air bubbles. Little ones are okay, but you definitely want to avoid as much as you can. All right, so now we're gonna take the needle and it's gonna go into this spot where the arrow is pointing, and we're gonna inject, and then when you hear the beeps, you know you have enough insulin in there. That's what the beeps are for. So we're gonna take this off so we're safe. Keep this away from my daughter. Mommy. All right, hit next. So it takes a minute for it to communicate to the pod, but it does tell you that. So we're just waiting.
We open it.
Okay, not right now. You can play with that.
Okay.
Okay, does that make you happy? Priming, please wait. Hold on. So you're gonna hear a bunch of clicks. That's it, just figuring out if we have enough insulin in there, but we do. This is a really rough day to shoot this video. She just got up from her nap and I thought she was gonna be content. I thought it was a good time to film it. It's still a good time. We'll figure it out. All right, so now we are going to clean our insertion site. Honestly, a lot of times I like to put my Omnipod on the front of my thigh. I have my Dexcom right here on this side of the body. It's kind of towards the back, so I'm gonna put this off to the side a little bit. There's your fruit bar right there. You can go grab it. I went ahead and sanitize that area. Now I'm gonna take off this safety tab on the Omnipod. You do kind of have to pull a little hard. All right, now you're gonna hold this like a cupcake. That's what my trainer taught me, is to hold it like a cupcake and take these safety seals off. This is the area I sanitized. I'm gonna go ahead and place it on there, run my finger around it a few times. I don't find that I ever really need any adhesive under here when I'm putting on the Omnipod. I've never had one rip off. I feel like they're very sturdy, but if you want to, you can use that. You can also use an overpatch when you're done. It's not anything that I find necessary though. We are going to press start. Is the pod securely in place? If the pod is securely attached to your body, tap yes to insert the cannula. Yes. We are safely attached.
Mom. Dad.
Oh, I forgot to count. There's usually a certain amount of time that goes by, but it does kind of startle you sometimes. You definitely do feel it. It's not painful. It's just a little flick, right? A flick. Can you show me a flick? Flick. Flick. Alice says flick. Is the cannula properly inserted? A pink color at the top of the pod confirms that the cannula is inserted properly.
Mommy, Owie.
So yes, there is a pink dot. We are good to go. We're gonna hit yes.
Okay.
It's not Owie, it's fine, I promise. Great, your pod is active. Next, connect your CGM to Omnipod 5. Connect CGM. So I use the Dexcom G6. So you need your serial number. I'm gonna go ahead and go on my Dexcom app to retrieve that. Confirm, communicating with pod. All right, so now it's connecting to the transmitter and it's just gonna take a minute. Says it could take up to 20 minutes. I just need to go ahead and make sure my insulin is active. It's in manual mode. I use the manual mode. It's just what I find works better for me. I do go in and out of using the automated mode in certain times when I'm sick or if I'm away from the house or just don't have the time to sit down and figure out what's going on with my blood sugars. I will put myself in auto mode. Okay, so I got my insulin and I'm all connected. We're good to go. All right, so this video was just a quick step-by-step guide. Like I said, the PDM does a pretty good job of walking you through everything, but I just wanted to give you more of a visual process. If you feel like you need more help with the setup process, leave me a comment down below with any questions. I'd be happy to answer that for you. It's actually pretty easy, but you do need to reach out to your healthcare provider to get the info. If I get enough questions about it, I can definitely make a video about the whole setup process. I'd be more than happy to do that. I don't currently use the Omnipod 5 except for the next 3 days while I wear this pod. I have my reasons for that. If you're really interested in seeing the pros and cons for me with Omnipod 5, please check out my video linked over here. I think you'll find some information very useful. Maybe you can apply it to your life. Maybe you can't. Maybe the Omnipod 5 will be a better choice for you. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to like and also subscribe to my channel if you're interested in seeing other product tutorials, type 1 diabetes news, and videos about other diabetes related topics.